Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HHW Show podcast, the hard hitting wrestling show sponsored by the CMG Central. You can find us on Spotify, Google, Amazon, Apple, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast platform. Or if you want to watch us, once again, we are on live on YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. So check us out. Also, you could follow us on hhwshow.com. We got plenty to talk about. I know the focus that was posted was about the Miz, but that we're gonna leave to the side because our takeaway will be about Austin Theory. And speaking about Austin Theory and what his change of mood, there's been a lot of changes going on as of late because we went from heel to babyface to tweener, and it keeps bouncing back and forth. Heck, I'm telling you right now, this guy right here, the the United States champion Seth freaking Rollins, man, 10 years in the business, two-time WWE Universal Champion, two-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, two-time Intercontinental Champion, two-time United States Champion, six-time Tag Team Champion. He was also the inaugural of the NXT Championship, 2014 Money in the Bank winner, 2015 Superstar of the Year, and 2019 Royal Rumble winner. I mean, this guy has done it all, man.
That's absolutely right. I mean, this guy right here has shown us that he can carry this business on his shoulders. When you think about all the past uh, superstars has carried the businesses like Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold, you have to put him up there in that Mount Rushmore because he is doing it. And I think he's just scratching the surface. Everything that you're showing right there that he has accomplished, already a Grand Slam champion in a very short career.
Ain't he a
He's
Grand
got
Slam champion two times?
Yes, I believe yes he is, but he wasn't the first. We know the Miz was, but you could say that he's the second. I would say so.
By just winning the United States Championship, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. Yeah, so you could
Right.
say he's the second one. I would say not we're not going to talk about the Miz, but to me he's more deserving of it because how long he's been in the business. But this man right here has been in the business for a short amount of time with the WWE, and he's accomplished so much, going from the Shield to going solo, being the architect, Seth freaking Rollins. I mean, this guy is just amazing. And I've said it to you some time ago that, since The Undertaker retired, I've been struggling to find someone who I can find as a fan favorite for myself. And and he has fit the bill. So I can honestly say that as of now, Seth freaking Rollins is my new favorite WWE superstar.
He is my favorite as well. I have to agree with you there. I have a choice whether or not to pick him or Roman Reigns.
Right.
And I always have to settle with Seth freaking Rollins.
Right.
I'm not nothing bad against Roman Reigns, but if you
No,
look
no.
at it, he is more of a fighter, every week superstar that we have seen of late compared to Roman Reigns,
Right.
right? And I know Roman Reigns has been dealing with health issues and stuff like that. He was absent. He came back. He got like repackaged, right? And I like his gimmick. I like the way he's leading, putting others and elevating others. You see what I'm saying? He's elevating people around him. That's good for business. But Seth Rollins is doing it too. But the storyline is more driven with Seth Rollins than anybody else. And when you look at it, look at this picture. He's making the United States Championship better than the World Championship. He's already elevated to where if you're talking about WWE Raw, you're talking about the United States Championship. That is the title that you must have, right? And look what's going on here. This is a debacle going on with Bobby Lashley, Mustafa Ali, and now Austin Theory, what we're talking about later. I mean, these guys are trying to get at the United States Championship.
No, and the way I see it, I feel as if the United States Championship has taken over the reins of the Intercontinental title. It's always been the Intercontinental title, in my opinion, as a WWE fan growing up, that was more relevant than the WWE title. I understand that is the that's the belt. That's the face of the business. I get it, but that's why I'm a fan of the Intercontinental title, because that title had prestige, and and people always gun for that title for some reason. And now in the modern day of 2022, everyone's gunning for the United States title, and to me, that is the top title as we speak. I mean, it's just what it is. Gunther's holding on to the Intercontinental title. That belt ain't going nowhere. So go after something that is being more exposed on TV, and that to me is the United States. Now, I don't like the design. I don't like the design, but I like the prestige of it and what it's representing right now for the business. And it is, to me, the top belt.
I think the Intercontinental Championship will elevate. I think Gunther is the right person to hold that title until, we get and narrow down who's going to face him a one-on-one. And I like the World Cup version because you have an Intercontinental means different parts of the world, right? I know you got the World Championship. I got it. I totally understand that.
Right.
But that world title is really the face of the organization. But when you're looking at worldwide, right, I think it's best fitting for the Intercontinental title. And I like it. I like where it's going. But into this, Austin Theory, he says, I'm no damn kid. I'm all day Austin Theory. His attitude's changed. And I want you to remember that. Lead it into the takeaway. All right. I had to mention that there. All right. But his attitude, Bobby Lashley's attitude, they're all changed. Right. It's like a domino effect that's going on for the United States Championship. And be honest with you, it started with Mustafa Ali. Okay. Yeah. Ali wanted a chance to get a title shot. He wants to be in the front. He has to get by Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's not having to say, dude, he's chilling, like, stop. He's being aggressive. But during the match between Lashley and Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That changes the whole attitude, right? So you got that going on. Then you got Austin Theory, who eventually lost the chance to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, which I'm still scratching my head. It makes sense. I mean, Monday Night Raw didn't mention it. It was really stupid. You know what I mean? It was stupid. I feel like let's get rid of it, right? Because coming up in WrestleMania, there's going to be a Money in the Bank ladder match. So the rumors are that that's going to happen in WrestleMania, and no more is going to be a pay-per-view event.
Correct.
I think it makes sense.
It does. I get it. It could have been, I think, it a little hasty on his part to cash in, but I think he saw the opportunity because there was no opportunity with Roman Reigns to cash in. I think he even said it that, Roman Reigns is protected. So those titles are protected. There's no way nobody's going to cash in on him that way. So why go after something that, you definitely was not going to get? He had a better shot at this title right here. And look, that goes to show that if you can cash in your contract on the United States title, that tells you how important that title is right now as it stands in the business. So it's a first time for everything.
Right.
When Otis won it, we thought maybe it would be a tag team title that we was going to cash in on. But we saw that storyline change. So I'm not too mad about him losing it, but cashing in against a different title that we didn't expect.
Yeah, there's always a first, right? There's always a first. But more to follow on that on Austin Theory and other developments here. We got AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at Survivor Series War Games. How do you think that this chapter is going to close?
Man, this chapter is going to close when somebody actually bows out, when one actually, gives in to the other. I don't think it's going to end at this point in time in Survivor Series. It's going to have to come down to a last man standing or I quit match, because these two guys are alpha males when you think about the OC, the Bullet Club. One saying, hey, I created it, but the other one saying, I knew how to carry it later on. So,
and the thing is, in the Bullet Club, they were never together. Finn Balor left. AJ Styles took over the reins and went with it, right? Made it a lot better than what it was, But
I just can't see one bowing, one submitting to the other. That is very hard. These two see themselves as equal.
Could we see this happen?
If that happens, then the OC is going to have to come along too, and that's going to make Judgment Day so much bigger, so much stronger. If that was to happen,
They always said that everyone wanted to make it bigger. Why not add 3 more right in the back?
But who will be the leader? That is going to be the question if that was to happen. You're going to have friction between 2 alpha males here. Everybody else in the group knows how to submit, but one submitting to the other here will be very, very difficult to do.
Very indeed. And you know what else is difficult is finding out who's going to be the next female to go with Team Bianca Belair as 5-on-5 Survivor Series War Games happen, and 2 rings into one to find out which one's going to be the better team. Now I have a slight edge as to who may win the Survivor Series. I really do, but I'm not going to jump the gun as of yet. But I would like to know who will be the 5th superstar. Now, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to scratch my head. Who could it be? So here's my take on this. Could it be one of these 4 superstars? Could it be Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, or Dana Brooks? Or then again, could it be another superstar? What's your take on this?
I like Becky because of what happened with her getting attacked to lose that title. So I like her coming back and just putting her differences aside with Bianca Belair because they have a common enemy here, and that will make Damage Control really think about what's going to happen in Survivor Series if they see her face come up, because we're not going to find out till every contestant is in that ring who's going to be that person. So I like Becky.
We might find out on the day of Survivor Series when they come out, be like, hey, here am I. But if I'm not mistaken, they're going to start in a cage, right?
Right.
And one by one, it's almost like a Royal Rumble type deal, but not. And then they go after each other. So I'm curious to see who's going to be first. All right. But at the same time, the reason why I had these 4 is because Becky Lynch should already be healed and recovered from a separated shoulder. Sasha Banks says that something's going to happen. It's been 6 months. So she made an announcement on Instagram that she's returning. I don't know much about Shayna Baszler because there's a storyline between her and Ronda Rousey. But I don't know if they would jump ship to SmackDown and ask her to be part of the team. But she does have history with Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
And then you have Dana Brooks, where she just got defeated on Monday Night Raw. Could she get in and be like, look, I want my revenge and blah, blah. I tell you what, if Dana Brooke ends up being in the team, that team is weak.
Right. I agree.
So
I get it. Shirai beat her, and Nikki Cross beat her. I get it.
Yeah, but there's no Dana Brooke. Like, it's just her storylines. It's almost like she's just a jobber in the industry. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. If this was a powerlifting competition, then you want her in there. But this is a wrestling match and a pay-per-view, so she's not.
I just wish her gimmick was just a little bit different to be more challenging. But she's been overshadowed by the real woman of WWE, which is Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, those 3. Who am I missing? Alexa Bliss and Bayley, so those they are the face when it comes to the women's division. So everybody after that, like Bianca Belair's already stepped up to be the face. Who else? Rhea Ripley. But you don't hear Dana Brooke. You don't hear Natalya. You don't hear, look at Tamina. She's a jobber herself. Now she's just back in losing her ways.
And see, that kind of scratched my head with Rhea Ripley. Is she going to be a team player? Because, that's just out of nowhere. Damage Control to me seems desperate, and they think that Rhea Ripley could be an asset. But could that be Achilles' heel there?
I don't think so. I think she'll like, for one, that's good. I think she had a long break from, I think if I'm not mistaken, she had a concussion protocol, right? So she took a lot of time away from the ring, and I think that's why they put her with Judgment Day, because you haven't seen her do anything.
Yeah.
So I guess they're being very careful with her. But I have a feeling that she's clear. But I think she's gonna be the one that's dominant and take care of things. She might be the last woman standing, or she be
Mhm.
the one to pin and carry the whole entire team, carry Bailey's team. I think that
Wow.
could happen.
I just see it differently. I think this is doesn't mean nothing for her. Doesn't do anything for her. So I think she'll just kind of abandon ship
Now
sometime somewhere.
remind you, why would she abandon ship if she did have a glance at Bianca Belair when they crossed paths with one another? That story's never ended.
Well, because I don't
She
think she
was
wants to deal
supposed
with.
to be the number one contender for
Yeah,
the Raw Women's title.
I get it, but I don't think she wants to deal with Mia Yim right now. So,
Well, I'm not
and she don't
all
really
in with
have.
me again.
She doesn't really have no alliance with Damage Control. You know what I'm saying? She could care less for
No,
them.
no, you're right. But
It's
then
like,
again, I'm looking at Mia Yim the way she's wrestling. I'm like, I'm not all there.
mm,
I'm not all there. That's but it
yeah,
doesn't convince me.
yeah.
Not yet. But hey, we'll find out more see who's gonna be. The one that not gonna be, which is very interesting. I would have loved Shotzi Blackheart to be a part of that 5-on-5, but she has the number one contenders match as she gonna go and chase down the women's SmackDown championship, which is Ronda Rousey. This is gonna be awesome. I know that the match that they had the first time was very competitive, even though Ronda Rousey won. But can Shotzi upset Ronda Rousey?
Mm. You're talking about a long shot, especially with Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades, lurking around now all of a sudden. Some kind of roadie, some kind of bodyguard to to Ronda Rousey. I don't know. It's Shotzi's gonna have a handful come Survivor Series.
Unless Liv Morgan comes out and distract and get her to win the title, I mean, I don't see anyone beating Ronda Rousey. I just don't.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you try to get the four horsewomen together. Lord have mercy.
Mm, we'll just see about that.
Yeah.
We're ready to talk about these two, AJ Styles and Finn Balor, going at it. Uh, I just don't know how this match is going to be straight up just one on one. There's going to be chaos in this.
I say this could actually steal the night.
I think so too. Both of these guys, man, they're gonna throw down.
Oh yeah.
But the ones that throw down on SmackDown was nothing but the Usos. They're going to break the record and be the most consecutive champions of all time in WWE, breaking the New Day's record, which eventually New Day had broken the demolition for the longest reigning champs. But I got a question for you. And I know this question was BT Sports on Twitter. Who will be the team to dethrone the Usos? But I want to scratch that real quick because I want to ask you, is the Usos the greatest tag team of all time?
I'm gonna say no. Just because they got the longest reign, I don't think they're the greatest tag team. You think about you think about all the tag teams that's been out there since WWE's been around since the WWF days. You got a lot of tag teams out there, a lot of great technical wrestling tag teams. Yeah, it seems like almost 95% of them were heel and face at one time. I don't think you can really find a team that was just straight face or straight heel. You probably can, but you got to really dig deep and think about it. But to say that they're the greatest of all time, I'm not going to say that right now. I feel like they got their dues because when they first started, like I debated last week, it took them a long time to win their first tag team titles when they first came out as the Usos. I felt like it was long overdue when they finally did win them, and when they did win them, now they kept on winning them over and over and over against seems like the same team, the New Day, and I feel like the New Day's been the same way with the Usos. It's like them two kept on switching back and forth. So I'm not going to even say that to me that the New Day is the greatest tag team of all time. It's just it's like if you and I was to fight, and switch titles 10 times, are we going to sit there and consider ourselves the greatest of all time? what other competitions did you have? Who else did you take the titles from to say that you are the greatest tag team of all time? And that's where my debate is at with that. I would love to see what Frank had to say if he was here about that. But right now, I cannot, say the Usos are the greatest of all time. No.
I also want to say that they also got their title stripped because Jimmy got arrested. They were forced to drop the titles because he got arrested for a DUI.
Correct.
Right? And it's not only once. This guy got in trouble 2 or 3 times already. And each time he always got away with it. And you also, I remember, because they had to drop it, they couldn't go to Toronto. Right. Because the law says that if you're under, if you got legal issues going on, you cannot cross the border. Correct. So and on that note, of course, knew they had to be champions again and stuff like that. But I don't think, I still don't think that there's no tag team better than the Road Warriors or the Legion of Doom.
I can debate that also with you.
But who else you got?
Because when with the Legion of Doom, you get nothing but raw power. Okay?
Right.
Okay. But what about teams like the Dudley Boys? Okay. Now they didn't have the raw power like the Legion of Doom, but they knew how to go extreme and they knew how to chop you down to their level, whether they were heel or whether they're face. You see? And when you talk about the greatest of all time, now you want to talk about a tag team like them because they went around the world, different wrestling organizations, and won titles almost everywhere that they've gone.
Absolutely.
The Legion of Doom has won titles in different organizations, but not as many as in many organizations than the Dudley Boys. You see what I'm saying? Or a tag team of that caliber.
Well, since you said the Dudley Boys, why not Edge and Christian? Because they held all the titles. They defeated the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys.
Well,
not once, not twice, 3 times.
But did they go to, all different, were they together in different wrestling organizations and taking on different tag teams from different organizations, and defeating?
No, but you just said that, that's what the Legion of Doom was saying. But now you're talking about the Dudley Boys within WWE. Well, we know that they were in ECW. We know that they went everywhere else to be extreme.
TNA.
But you talk about the Usos that they only know WWE.
And they only know the New Day. You see, it's not like where they were in the WWE and dominated all these different tag teams and snatched titles from different tag teams in the WWE.
All right, so let me ask you this. Now you're on that topic. Go ahead.
But, I give them their props because by any means necessary, they are the longest reigning tag team champions in the history of professional wrestling. Well, I would say WWE. I don't know about professional wrestling, but WWE, yeah. So by any means necessary.
So who do you think will dethrone the Usos? The Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, Viking Raiders, the Paul Brothers, Street Profits, New Day, or someone else?
If the Paul Brothers do it, I'm taking a hiatus from wrestling. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I will. It's not going to happen. Exactly. I'm going to scratch the Paul Brothers out. I don't think that's going to happen. But
I can see why you put it there. I mean, I understand that.
The Street Profits, I mean, Montez Ford still got a heel. I don't know what's going on. But the Viking Raiders are repackaged. Why not them? Go ahead and dethrone them. They got Sarah Logan is back. She's the face of the Viking Raiders, which is pretty awesome that she's back. And by the way, I mean, she did get released. She did have a baby, all that stuff. Now she's returning back. So it's pretty cool to have her back. I could see a big difference in the Viking Raiders moving on forward. It's almost like seeing Scarlett and Karrion Kross.
I can agree with that. The Viking Raiders.
I will pick the Viking Raiders. I won't say the Brawling Brutes because they're crazy. I don't think they don't have the discipline to really focus. They just want to go wilding out and fight. And the Usos, they know how to strategize. And of course, they got support. But I think if there's any way that they will lose those tag team titles. It'll be like a fatal 4-way. It won't be straight up one-on-one or
And
straight up traditional tag team match. It's not going to happen.
and if it's a fatal 4-way, the Usos will not be part of the decision.
They will not be part of the decision. Absolutely.
I will
Which
see
forces the Uso to challenge the champion, and then boom, out they go.
Yeah, I could see like the Viking Raiders, one of them pinning one of the New Day members to win the tag team titles, and the Usos are sitting there scratching their heads. How the hell do we lose these titles? Because we know the Viking Raiders and the New Day have unfinished business. At least I think the New Day, I think the Viking Raiders have unfinished business with them. I do like them. I do. I think they could be the modern day Demolition, but just with 2 members. Seriously, these guys are brutes. But they're flexible. They're agile, and I would like to see tag title gold around them. They got Sarah Logan with them. Why not? That would be great.
I tell you
I
what,
like that.
man, I like it. I like it. I'll stick to it.
And they named after 2 NFL teams, the Vikings and the Raiders. Why not? We'll talk about those 2 teams tomorrow.
Absolutely, and all 4 Downs podcast. But speaking about that, hey, this is the HHW Show podcast, the hard hitting wrestling show. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, or you could go ahead and follow us on hhwshow.com. Still to come, we're going to talk about Austin Theory. And yes, he does have an attitude adjustment. We're about to cover that and much, much more. So stay tuned. It wasn't that long ago that Vince McMahon chose Theory to be the next guy, to be the guy of the WWE franchise. But so much had developed since then, with accusations behind the scenes on Vince McMahon that forced him to move out of the WWE from his role as to produce the shows. But in time, throughout that time, Theory, Austin Theory, I mean, there's just so many names that that he came across that finally he found his gimmick. Finally, he is the show off. Finally, he got something that people talk about. And there's a lot of similarities to a future Hall of Famer. But Austin Theory, man, made a wrong choice. And the choice was to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Seth freaking Rollins. Monday Night Raw. To only be dethroned by Bobby Lashley. Okay? And of course, a lot of fans say that was a stupid move. We all agree it's a stupid move. But I think it's a necessary move to understand the prestigious title that Seth Rollins is doing. And it maybe wasn't about the title. Maybe it's about beating the guy that's the face of WWE Raw. But other than that, Austin Theory's not smiling anymore. He's already growing his beard. He's already frustrated. What can he do? What can he do? And that is the biggest question. What's going on with Austin Theory? Why all of a sudden he is who he is right now? What got to him? Hector, elaborate more, man. Why do you think Austin Theory has this attitude adjustment right now?
I think after losing the Money in the Bank briefcase, I feel like he's starting to identify and understand what changes he needs to do or what changes he wants in his life. Somebody might have been in control, and now he's trying to get back that control for himself. Somebody was pulling his strings, and it wasn't working for him, and now he's having to pull those strings. So I think he's maybe taken a step in maybe in the right direction to clearly understand what he needs to change or what needs to be changed in his life to his new identity that we're seeing all of a sudden. You talk about the beard change, growing out the beard, the more aggressiveness that he's dealing with here, right? I just feel like sometimes in life that when we set a clear goal, it has to be a key to success for us. Okay. And when changing your attitude, you need to do an honest, let's say, in-depth self-evaluation. I think that's what he did after he lost this briefcase. He lost the contract. I'm not going to sit here and say it was out of desperation, because he tried before and it didn't work out. So maybe he thought he saw something here, that he saw the opportunity, but it didn't work out. And now he's going to have to do things, go back to the drawing board, start things, do it all over again. And if we're going to see Austin Theory and not just Theory, then watch out, Raw. We're in for a rude awakening here.
You just said it. There was a theory that he will one day become the world heavyweight champion, and it never happened.
Right.
You can't get through Roman Reigns because the bloodline is deep. Everyone's
Right.
protecting Roman Reigns. You try to go to Seth freaking Rollins, but that dude's the architect, man.
Yes.
He's a visionary, the revolutionary, and no one's going to get through him. Not right now. And normally the United States champion is held between 4 to 6 months. It just seems like Seth Rollins is going to carry this for a longer period of time and may break John Cena's record. But you got a great points there. Self-reflection. Sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and see, hey, what are you doing? What direction am I going? What is your goal? You had somebody that was carrying you, showing you every which way direction. So you're just listening. You think that everything, and this is where I want to get at, is that he believed that everything was going to be given to him.
Right.
Kissing your boss's ass, telling him doing this, doing that, which I got it. I totally understand. Sometimes you got to, give a little beso out there to get in front, cheat a little bit. But your boss is not there. Now there's new leadership. What are you going to do now? I think he comes to realization, hey, man, you really got to earn it. Now, is Austin Theory well-deserved to be in the championship role? Of course. He showed it time and time. But the attitude sucks. And it's almost similar to John Cena, which I was talking about, the future Hall of Famer, the legend himself, who decided to change his gimmick to be a rock star. I mean, not a rock star, a hip-hop star, right? Try to be all with the slang and everything else. Everybody hated him. And then all of a sudden he came back. He's the original, true loyalty, respect, John Cena.
Yeah.
And his career took off. And I can see that happen for Austin Theory. I really do. But how? I don't know. I don't know now. Is he really focused? Because watch this. You come to a realization that you were showboating. You were trying to be popular. You're using social media. That's what a lot of people do. Go on social media and vent. And no matter what they say, they want people to believe what they want to believe. Right? He wants everyone to believe that he is the best of the best, when really he's not. Right? Come to realization he's mad at himself. He got that anger and he wants to release that anger. But even with anger, you can't think straight.
Yeah.
Austin Theory is a no-win situation. He can't win, and he's not going to win. Not with that attitude. With Bobby Lashley, I could see it because there's similarities. They both are mad at what had happened, what had conspired. Bobby Lashley was the United States champion, was taken away because of Brock Lesnar. He wants that title back. Seth Rollins has it. You got Austin Theory, who tried to cash in, got interrupted, right? He's mad. But when you're angry, you don't think straight. You don't strategize. You just want to go one way and that's it. And you can't do that. You got to sit back, relax, listen. I self-reflected. I know I messed up. What can I do to fix this? What plans? What kind of plan are you going to have? What is your near-term goals? What is your long-term goals? How are you going to accomplish each one to get to your milestone? And if you don't do that, there is no direction. You're just going to fall flat every time. And Seth freaking Rollins will notice and will know and will take advantage of that.
No, I agree. I mean, in order for any one of us to have a greater chance of reaching our goals in life, and for Theory to want to have a greater chance of reaching his goal, whether that be the United States title or the World Heavyweight title, he has to be able to fix his mind on the things that would be able to come as a result of his attitude change. You know what I'm saying? We know what you talked about John Cena, and think about one of his finishing move, the attitude adjustment. Well, you have to have an attitude adjustment, okay, if you're going to have a greater chance of reaching your goal. So, and if that means in a more aggressive way for Theory, then so be it. But at least he's pulling the strings now. You know, he's operating the controls, not someone else.
You had me think about something. You know, he said the attitude adjustment with his signature move. And I'm thinking, well, Austin Theory's signature move was an A-Town down, the way he does his signature move.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what's the opposite of going down? You got to go up. Do we call him? Does he got a signature move that's called A++? Are we going to go on Hulu and figure this out? Or, I mean, what's going on? I mean, hey, it's just a thought. Now, I don't know. Maybe you could think of a signature move. I don't know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he probably can make, if he does change a signature move, then we'll know that he's in the right direction. But I also believe that he has to be able to believe in himself that he can have the ability to change. We have to have that. We have to have that belief in ourselves that we can change, because we know that the greatest obstacle between us and our goals is ourselves.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend.
So,
I mean, you're the preacher, man.
You know, and that's why we do these takeaways, you know, because we can relate to a lot of these things, you know, in our personal lives, past, present, future, whatever the case may be.
Hey, man.
But we always have to have, but we have to be able to trust our ability to do what we want us set our minds to do. And don't let nobody tell you can't do it.
No. And if someone is guiding you in the right path, you got to listen. You got to listen. Something that Judgment Day didn't do with Edge. Okay.
Yeah.
And look where they're at. No titles around their waist yet.
I know that's right.
All right. But let's see what happens with Austin Theory and his I don't think anything's gonna happen until after WrestleMania. I think if he gets bigger, will be after WrestleMania. So 2023, watch out for Austin Theory. I kind of like the direction he is going. I love the change of attitude, but what can you do? What can you carry with you on this? So I'm liking it. And who knows? Maybe he'll really be on the next Money in the Bank and end up winning it for real instead of being the 8th member. Or was it the 7th member? Absolutely.
Like just cash in that same night, get it over and done with.
All right. Hey, man, Hector, it's been fun. I can't wait because next week we're going to be covering down the prediction on Survivor Series. Yes, it's on Thanksgiving weekend. That Saturday. Peacock, WWE Network, wherever you be able to watch it is going to be awesome. Stay tuned to that. Prediction show next week. I can't wait. Hopefully Frank will be around with us. Sorry, Frank, if you're watching, we'll hope you're doing safe over there. On behalf of CMG Central, I'm with Heck Love and OV1 right here at your channel, baby. HHW Show coming to you live once again. Stay tuned.
Peace.